Hi guys, so I'm out in my car, but I have my door open and there are people around, so I'm going to speak very quietly. If you need to, you can put the captions on for the video. So I took a shower, came out to my car. For those who don't know, me and my cat are currently staying at a homeless compound. I got a job. I start Saturday. We are both safe and basic needs are taken care of, so I'm very grateful. But the course of events that brought me here, which is 4 hours north of where I was living, because it was the only place that would allow me to have Luna with me. But today, it makes exactly 2 weeks that I've been here. And what I have learned in that 2-week time is that even though I view my life and my reality as a course of events that, based on your choices, you either get a benefit or a consequence. Yet, when I really sit back and contemplate it, which that's what I was doing tonight, looking up at the stars, and I'm going to get to that point in a second, but God has made it very clear, profoundly clear in my life that God is in control of all things. Yet, for some reason, I still refer to myself as Doubting Thomas to this day, because even though I've had validation, confirmation, validation, justification, confirmation, I'm still like, I don't know. So, hence the name. Okay, so I knew, as I shared in the previous video the other day, that I was specifically brought here for a reason, because there's no point for somebody like me, having survived so many traumatic events and supernatural events and technological events and a lot of suffering and just things that the average person doesn't really experience in their life. And I have. So, in my opinion, as I have learned it myself, that God uses broken people to fix broken people. And my life until 2018, 2019 was just a broken mess of the pit of despair. That's the only way I can describe it. Because even though I was a mom and I had a very extremely, I was a great mom, like Susie Homemaker. And my boys, they're grown now. They're in their 20s. They're the living proof, They're good people. But coming here, I have been faced with many trials, tribulations, temptations, a lot of demonic activity, which I know from my previous bout of homelessness, which lasted over 3 years, that places like where I'm at are very highly targeted. And people are very heavily surveilled in places like this, like a homeless compound or a jail or a psych ward, anything like that. And this place is the opportunity that I've been waiting for for 7 years as far as working hard, and I keep losing and losing and losing, and I'm going and going and trying and bettering myself, and I'm like, oh my, something's got to give here. So I made a choice when I came here that I was going to fully utilize all the resources available. They have showers, little, travel toiletries. You can do your laundry here, and they provide the detergent. And 3 meals a day. As well as cat food and cat supplies. So I was like, I am blessed. This is what I needed so I could actually save some money to actually get on my feet. And that's all I've been wanting for all these years and working towards. So, what I noticed, especially this past week, was every time I was eating something, my stomach was getting upset. And I know it's not normal, because I'm sorry if this is TMI, but I'm a pretty consistently regular person. And the way my stomach sounds and is behaving, there's a war going on in my gut. Let's just say that. I know from previous experience that it absolutely is parasitic in nature, because I have dealt with that before, and the symptoms are the exact same. So luckily for me, I did pack my drops. I have, anti-parasitic stuff. So I'm going to have to do that. And I decided that I'm just going to have to suck it up and buy my own food and have to purchase that, because I can't continue to eat the food here. And it came to me when I was in meditation today and I was journaling the energies, that there is very much so an attack on the gut biome right now. And that is all parasites. That's because your brain, your heart, and your gut have like a holy trinity connection. And if all three are in harmony, you are like running at optimum, performance. However, if one of those three dimensions of the body are altered or diseased or something, the other two are not going to work as well as they could. So for me, I try to be mindful. I don't always succeed, especially in my life. I kind of have to take what I get. So you know what they say, beggars can't be choosers, but I ain't no beggar. So there's that. A lot of experimentation goes on in facilities like this place, psych wards, jails, like I mentioned previously. And they actually go into the sewage, into the toilets, and they test the feces and urine, and they test for lots of things other than drugs, but diseases and other things, genetics. So it came to me in meditation. I was like, oh, okay, there's an attack on the gut biome right now. Well, of course, then they're going to target the food source, because that gets digested in your gut. And parasites are the easiest way to cause an infection, and disease and illness and depletion of nutrients. And that's exactly the MO. So unfortunately, I had to take a few bites today because I don't have anything else, and I haven't even started my job yet, so that still means a week or two till I get a paycheck. So I'm just doing what I can do. So I wanted to mention that. Also, this facility is formerly part of the prison, and their prison sits on the left side of this complex, and the airport sits on the other side of this complex. Okay, Jennifer, me, on my original channel, which was Metro Gnome, and on this channel, which is Metro Gnome 777, I have recorded and journaled and researched and shared footage of geoengineering and all the stuff in the sky, including aircraft, for 7 years. And this place is the most activity I have ever seen. I can't tell you the amount of different types of aircrafts and helicopters and platform things and drones and jets, and they're loud. Even when the regular commercial aircraft takes off the runway, it's really loud. So then your normal 5.0 red and blue flying by, that I started noticing that in 2019, and I started posting videos about that because I was like, oh, here go air patrols now, like, are we profiling now? Yeah, we are. So a lot of weird, and today a lot of military aircraft, and I wanted to specifically comment about that. That's why I brought that up. We have water fountains here in each of the buildings, which have one of those LK spigots on the back, so you don't have to keep using water bottles. You could just refill a cup, like they have them at gyms and everything. Well, our waters, even the showers, have been malfunctioning. And if anybody knows me by now, they know that I am not a fan of AI and the natural resources that it consumes. So this place is filled with a lot of people who get out of the prison next door and have nowhere to go, or a psych ward and have nowhere to go, and oh my God, my heart breaks, number one, but I am the daughter of a Vietnam veteran, and the way these veterans in this country are treated makes my blood boil. So we have veterans here. They do have a veteran dorm here, which is a little step up from our dorms. They have a TV and they have air conditioning. Whoopity-doo. They risked their lives for the freedoms of their country and countrymen. Anyways, I'm not even going to go off on that one right now. I'll probably get another terms and conditions strike from YouTube. Okay, what else? A lot of demonic activity here, because where traumatized people who are suffering and feeling pain and fear and anger and all those very low vibrational negative energies, well, that's what demons feed on. That's their loosh. I just always wanted to say that word and I never had an opportunity yet, so there we go. Done. And here there's a lot of addicts and people who don't really give a crap about waking up the next day, because what's going to be better? And that's a fact. There's not a whole hell of a lot of helping hands up for people like us in this situation. There's a lot of condemnation, though, and criminalization and judgment and stereotypes and stigmas. There's a lot of that. And degradation, my favorite, my personal favorite. On the flip side, I have met a little handful of people around here who are interested in a different way of life and making better choices in their life from what they used to do. Hey, I know somebody who knows all about that. So God absolutely has taken me on this journey very specifically over especially these last 7 years, but my whole life. And so that I could now gain the courage of sharing my story, what I used to do on YouTube for all those years, and do it in person, where I have the most stage fright, of course, because it's going to be a lesson. You already know. And I see people every day who praise God and like with their mouths and with their like, oh, like loving God and have nothing. Okay. So I just wanted to share this tonight because, especially that we're at war right now, especially that it's the full moon energy and the new year energy and all the dark, sacrificial, ritualistic shit that goes on in these times. I said it in my video yesterday, and I'll say it again, that I have taken a beating over the last couple of days, energetically and spiritually and physically and mentally and nutritionally and financially. I could go on and on and on, but I won't, because I try to find gratitude in the small things. For instance, when I went in to take my shower earlier, I was so thankful that after being out in this hot ass microwaving the environment, geoengineering heat from hell, being literally sunburnt to lobster red. I have a filter on right now, so it looks more red, but I'm looking at myself like I haven't gotten a sunburn since I was like a teenager. What is, and then I was like, oh, the reflectivity, of course. Anybody who's ever gone out on a boat knows you're going to get a worse sunburn out on the water than you would on the sand, on the shore, because of the reflectivity of the sun on the water. It does the same thing that way. When there's all kinds of metals and other crap in our atmosphere that doesn't need to be in there. But creating an AI-friendly environment requires destroying the biological one. Remember that and have a great night.